Slack attack.
Hey, the name is Slack. Thanks for coming back. Let's walk through some more Resident Evil 4 Remake. Gamer Slack is down there in the trenches behind again, and MC Dub Slack is here in the rear with the gear on the microphone. Alright, Gamer Slack, off you go. This is the farm, and in the farm you have to worry about the brute. This big badass with a hammer. First of all, actually, in retrospect, I'm kind of wondering about the whether you should do this or not, because every time you kill this farmer, it's an easy kill. Every time you kill this farmer, this cow rushes you and knocks you over. So the hit you take from the cow, whether it's worth the pesetas you pick up, yeah, why not? I mean, Anyways, once again, if I don't have time to do the commentary, just do exactly what I'm doing. It is all planned. These are real walkthroughs. I know exactly what I'm doing, and I like to get it done quickly. This is our objective right here, to get this gate open. In here is a tripwire. You could blow it by shooting that, but no. It's funny how Leon shook his head. Instead, I highly recommend that you duck under it, because this is a perfect trap for the brute boss in this farm area, because they'll just leave that up and running. It's a big waste to blow it. And grab this yellow herb here, and we're going to mix that up right away. Make a kind of a Alamo health potion. Yellow herbs increase your health permanently. So when you mix them with another herb or herb mixture, when you take that herb mixture, your health is increased permanently. Like for the rest of the game, not like just for like, until you take damage again, like permanently. Alright, so you want to take those strategically. Pretty much right away. But don't forget to mix them up with something else so that, as you're recovering your health, you're also increasing your health. Alright, so up the ladder we go. And now, don't forget the shotgun shot. Yeah, there we go. I always forget these. And now we need a gear. Okay, we need a wooden gear. The gear is found in the barn. The reason we need the gear is because we need to operate this mechanism. This mechanism will open the gate. We can't open the gate until we get the gear. The gear is found in the barn. As soon as you go in the barn, it triggers, like, everything. So, get ready to rock and roll. Down here, get used to that route there that I took out that door. Hop down here, because I'm going to be using that route frequently. Grab the flagon, and you saw an autosave. Pretty much this is the point of no return. Locks on doors, you could either like unlock them with a knife, or I'll talk about that later, but do what I'm doing here. Quickly unlock those two doors and run around here. Run past and follow this exact route back to the tripwire. Okay, you're gonna duck under the tripwire. Turn around, and basically you're going to hold off the villagers until the brute comes in, because you want the brute to take the lead, walk through the trap. There he is. Let him walk through the trap. Boom. And don't try to fight him off here. He's close to death, but I wouldn't recommend finishing him off here, because you're going to get trapped. If things screw up, you're going to get trapped down there. What you want is a long runway. So this right here, this boardwalk right here, is perfect, and you can't get flanked, as Gamer Slack is showing you. This is an easy parry, the ones with the pitchforks. I'll talk more about how to do really easy parries later on in the video. So basically we're protecting this long runway until the brute appears. There's the brute. You can duck the brute's attacks, as the game is indicating. And I just want to run down here and double back the other way. I didn't like the way things were set up there, so I decided to run for it instead of trying to finish the brute off, because I didn't think I could finish him off. He kind of rushed a little too quickly. So now I'm running around, and I'm going to take the exact same route back towards the gate, hang a right, and up the ladder. And down to the exact same position. As you can see, I'm a big proponent of ain't broke, don't fix it. Right? So we get to the exact same standoff point. Turn around, we got a nice long runway. And they can come through the window there, and I just shot the brute in the head. As you can see, he was so close to death, just took one pistol shot to finish him off. So that's the easiest way to take care of the brute in the farm. Here, I learned a lesson about disarming enemies. It's really cool, you know, you can shoot the weapons out of their hands, but, well, I'll talk more about this later. I'm kind of wondering about the, whether it's really worth it to disarm enemies. Anyways, with the brute down, your best bet is to get out into the open field here and to spread everybody out so you have lots of, like, elbow room and lots of, like, you know, a long way to shoot so that you can hold them off easier. Here's a pitchfork attack that's really easy to parry. Love the way when he does a roundhouse kick, any other enemies that are like in front of him, it's just like this, just sweeps them all down. Now I'm doing the exact same thing, I'm just getting far away. Oh god, I ran a little short with this pitchfork. Later on, we're going to get a pistol that can penetrate through enemies. This is really useful. And you can parry those attacks there when they throw axes. This guy morphed into a zombie. Right here, I'm basically field testing. I stopped doing this. I'm field testing what it takes to take down one of these, like, zombies with the pistol. Eventually I just say to hell with it and I start using the shotgun because it's way easier, but I'm always curious, looking for a cheaper way to do things. So I took a hit there doing some field testing. I think that's probably one of the last times. Henceforth I'll just use the shotgun, which is what you should do. Just use the shotgun headshot if you have shotgun ammo. Alright, so it looks pretty calm. Everybody is dead. And I'm looking around for loot. Any loot that might have dropped here as a result of the explosion. And let's go get the gear. Lots of loot in here. Don't forget the dresser slack. The dresser, attaboy. By the way, way back near the beginning of the video, the first barrel that I looted from behind that that shed there, I got a grenade. That's guaranteed. That's always a grenade. And here's the wooden cog. And the kitchen knife, basically a disposable knife. These are actually really useful. Don't forget the ribby. If there's any loot that I'm picking up that you're not getting, please post a comment. Because I have the deluxe version of the game, which places a lot of extra loot on the game that isn't normally in the game, I've come to realize. So I'm going to have to avoid picking that stuff up too. As well as not using the extra weapons that I got. Normally I don't buy deluxe versions. I don't know why I decided to do it this time. Normally I buy the default normal version, because if I'm going to do a walkthrough, I want to, you know, want to be the same as everybody else. Here I'm like, I'm waiting for this chicken, quote unquote, to lay an egg, and then I finally realize, oh wait, that's not a chicken, that's a rooster. So But what I was doing was I was like trying to like see if there's some specific sign or something that chickens do just before they lay an egg. So that's what I was doing, just pausing, kind of like, you know, field testing a chicken, if you will. All right, so what you want to do is pick up this task here, this quest. Destroy 5 blue medallions in the area. As soon as you pick this up, they all get marked on the map, so they're easy to find. Alright, so Gamer Slack is going to do this, and I'm going to talk about a few things I discovered recently. One is easy parry. If you're having problems parrying, for example, I have no problem parrying a guy rushing with a pitchfork, and I have no problem parrying when they throw axes. What I was having problems with was when they get right up in your face with some kind of like close combat weapon, like an axe or a sickle or something like that, and then just suddenly raise their arm and strike. Those I was having a lot of problems parrying. But now I've discovered a trick. The trick is simply spam the parry button as soon as you think they're going to attack. Because I discovered the window of opportunity for a parry is actually larger than the interval between spamming parry attacks. So that's all you have to do. When you think, you know, if the guy's getting right up in your face, he's getting close, he looks like he's about to attack, just start spamming that parry button and you'll get a guaranteed parry. So ever since I discovered that, like, parrying has been like no problem, which is huge. That was huge. That's number one. Number two, as I was talking about earlier, disarming villagers, I'm kind of wondering if it's really worth it. Because if they're throwing axes at you, yeah, sure, disarm them. Then you can't throw axes at you anymore. But any other villager with any other kind of weapon, if you disarm them, that means you can no longer parry him. Correct me if I'm wrong. When they lunge at you with just like both hands outstretched, they grab you. There is no way to parry that. I have never successfully parried that, so I don't think you can parry it. So, why? I'm kind of like wondering why you would want to disarm a villager only to make it harder to parry. Post a comment. What do you have to say about that? Somebody said, I read a comment somewhere. Somebody said that you can, when they are disarmed and they come at you and they lunge at you with both hands, they say you can duck it. Just simply crouch. Never been able to do that. Tried it a bazillion times. Never been able to pull it off. Maybe it's just my reaction time. I don't know. But yeah. So, to disarm or not to disarm? That is a question. Post a comment. I say, actually, that being said, in part 3 you're going to see me disarm a lot of guys, but I just did that for entertainment purposes because I think it's such a riot to disarm them. But honestly, I don't think it's strategically sound. So now, got all the blue medallions shot down. We're going to put in the wooden cog, and this will allow us to open the gate. And the gate is not one of those gates that like closes up. Like, you don't have to rush out to get under it. It just stays open. So that's that. Now, since the typewriter is right nearby, I just want to go back and save the game. And what I'm going to do is, what I did was I went off camera. You may not notice it, but I went off camera. And I rushed around everywhere to quickly make sure I didn't miss anything. And then I reloaded the save and then picked up from there. So if you have a sharp eye, you'll probably see the transition. Even I didn't see it. Getting pretty slick, Slack. So now I know exactly where all the stuff is that I missed. There's a barrel I missed here, and there's a green herb somewhere else that I missed. This we need a key that we don't have yet, and the green herb. And that's it. That's everything in the area. Alright, the next area. Not just yet, actually, have to take a little detour first. Go around the back here. Get some loot here. Okay, can't get through this door, so we're gonna have to continue by pushing this wagon out of the way. But first, let's read the sign.
Lake's gotta be this way.
Do you think? Huh. Alright, here is going to be our first introduction to... Actually, not yet. Here in this area, what you want to do is first loot this barrel, and then you're going to cut to the right down this little path right here. And just hang out here, wait for the trap to blow, wait for 2 explosions, and then double back. And stick to the cliff side on the right side right here. Duck down, and the guy's going to drop down. If you get lucky, he'll actually stumble and fall on the ground. But either way, shoot him in the head a couple times. At close range, it should be an instant kill. Next are going to be guys up on the bridge throwing axes at you. Here is an ideal opportunity to disarm them, but even then, it's a lot better to shoot them in the knee. Because if you shoot them in the knee, you cause them to stumble, and then they fall off the bridge and most likely kill themselves. Not always, but most likely. This guy finished off with a headshot. So here's another situation where it may not be strategically viable to disarm them. And this guy morphed. And Slack has finally learned his lesson. Don't use the pistol to take out the morphed villagers. Just blow their ass down with a good headshot from the shotgun. Give them a good old-fashioned buckshot shampoo. Boom. And here I don't want to waste another shotgun shell. Because Victory is close to death, so a gut shot with the pistol and it's a done deal. Can't believe this is a pitchfork lady. Yeah, this is an easy parry. That's another thing that that bugs me. When you get like a melee attack and you knock them down on the ground, sometimes you get the prompt to stab them, sometimes you don't. And I'm kind of wondering what in the world is the criteria for that. Alright, here's our first introduction to dynamite. There is a tripwire in this building right off to the left here. Once again, you don't want to blow it. So get under it. Go over here, loot all this stuff here. And as soon as you see a villager approaching, duck back under the tripwire and let him blow the tripwire. Get a free kill. Sucker. You can shoot dynamite that these guys are holding and blow it up instantly, get an instant kill. You can even shoot dynamite that is not lit, which is something I didn't know in this recording. Although in part 3 I in what I call Dynamite Valley, I got fully acquainted with how to deal with guys throwing dynamite, as you will too. whenever you're in a place where there's somebody throwing dynamite, guy ran right into the post and a nut shot. Yeah, whenever you're in a place where somebody's throwing dynamite, don't be in a hurry to kill him, because you can use them strategically. And I'm going to demonstrate that in part 3. It's an absolute riot when you get into Dynamite Valley, if you play it right. And that was an example where you saw a guy got trapped in the bear trap. That's another reason why you should never disable bear traps unless you're really worried about getting trapped in them yourself. But if you know exactly where they are and there's enemies around, always use them to your advantage. Okay, so we got a dynamite hucking individual up here. It's hard to get a line of fire on the dynamite, so there she is right there. Okay, so we're just waiting for her to chuck a dynamite, and then I'm gonna rush straight ahead, get a deflate on her so that she can't throw the dynamite here. Looking out for bear traps, because the game knows that the game developers know that this is a good strategy, so they put traps around here. And we're gonna take the high ground and take her out. Here you go. See you're holding dynamite there? Here in this recording, I did not know that you could... I thought you had to wait until they actually lit up the dynamite before you shot it. But you don't have to. You could just shoot an unlit dynamite and then it'll blow up. Alternatively, if you're not such a great shot, you could just shoot the arm that's holding the dynamite and force them to drop it. Which will give you a bigger target. This guy's throwing dynamite as well, but I couldn't get a line of fire. It's like, I think it's in his right hand. See, I went over here to get closer, and see, I don't have a line of fire on it. Otherwise I would have shot it. So I'm just playing sniper with my pistol here. And he morphed. Whenever you hear that squiggly sound, that villager morphed. He stumbles just past the bear trap. Getting slack. What I was doing was I was trying to, and it worked too, but not that well. Whenever somebody's climbing up, or like that, climbing a ladder or climbing through a window, if you shoot their head, it always knocks them off. So that's what I was trying to do. Once again, experimenting with a cheap way to take down a zombie. I thought if I just shot him enough pistol shots, like knock him off, he'd take damage, like fall damage. Okay, so all the villagers are dead. Time to disable all the bear traps. Oh wait, there's one left. There is one thing I just thought of. I did this in part 3 as well. If you disable a villager, and he's just got bare fisted, right? One thing I did was this real badass move you could do. Shoot the weapon out of their hands, and they're kind of like temporarily stunned, and just rush them, get right up close, and use the knife to stab them a couple times in the gut, which gives you a melee prompt, and then you can just stab him to death. I showed this in part 3. It was real badass. She actually got me there. Atta boy, Slack. He's a learner. Shotgun shells. Shotgun shells. To your left. Attaboy. Okay, there's one of those expanded map treasures, which, like I said, I'm under the impression that now that these only appear in the deluxe version. Can somebody verify this? Can you shoot down that sapphire right there at that location there? Okay, that we're going to need a key that we're going to get in the end of chapter 2 or 3. The end of chapter 3, I think. It's in the village chief manor. That key.
This the place?
What's that sound? Here's another way to go through locked doors. Just simply kick it 3 times. As far as I could tell, the knife does not take any durability damage using the knife to like disable locks. That's what I could tell. So I think it's easier to use a knife. But if you don't have a knife, then that's another way to do it. And here is a tripwire that we can't go under. It's just too low, so I have to blow this one.
What's that noise?
I don't know, what's that noise?
That hurts, you know. Seemed like you really wanted to talk. How observant, senor. Now, say, you got a smoke? Well, those things will kill you. Oh, well, maybe just untie me then, huh? Joder, not this guy!
Who are you? Okay, stop right there!
And what? Already? Yeah, already they're taking away all your weapons. As you know, in video games, whenever you get captured, all your weapons get taken away. It's like a video game rule. And that's the end of chapter 1. I want to thank you all very much for watching. And if you thought this was remotely entertaining and or informative, post a comment, subscribe, and thumbs up the video. It really helps to support the channel. Alright, so I'm going to save the game here. You always get the option to save the game at the end of the chapter. And I will see you next time for chapter 2. Hey guys, real walkthroughs like these are an endangered species here on YouTube. For a complete lowdown on the YouTube video game walkthrough scene, check out my Patreon page and please consider making a donation to yours truly, Major Slack, to help keep real walkthroughs alive on YouTube. You can donate as little as $1. That's $1, that's all. That's all it takes, alright? Thanks a lot, really appreciate it.